Thank you. Good afternoon. Have you all been here for a long time today? Like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning? No. Okay, I've been up since 6, so. Okay, all right. First of all, thank you all for having me here. When Janelle contacted me about doing a speaking engagement, I'm always open to come to talk about not just my business, but to be of service to help anyone in the business that I do because I get stopped all the time. I'm in the beauty business. I work with some major designers in Atlanta, and people are always asking me to do things with the brands. So it's always good that people are always reaching out because I always feel like I'm doing what my calling is when I get stopped. So I hope you all learned some things today. And if you want to contact me after on a personal consultation, I am open. Okay. So let me get started. So she told me that you all are wanting to do something about personal branding. I wanted to bring it back and talk about shaping your future for success because I feel like your image and your branding is all together. Yes. So um, I am Letia, but a lot of you know me as LSY. And if you know, LSY is backwards YSL. I've worked in the luxury business for over 20 years. And when I got married, years ago, my last name changed and they put the Y. So I've always been known to have my initials on everything. So now people are like, oh, you're YSL. No, I'm LSY because that is my personal initials. I'm a certified wardrobe consultant. And what that means is I work in the world of wardrobing, image, and branding. I'm dedicated to supplying services and products that enhance your physical appearance, recognizing your self worth through image, and I refine and fine tune your personal image while recognizing your self expression through image. So, my purpose today is to show you how to shape your image and future for personal success. What I'm going to do is show you how to set yourself apart from others. In my intro, I wanted you to focus on is there anywhere I can move that screen down or that has to stay on mine?
We'll make the adjustment. We'll make the adjustment.
Okay. So I want you to kind of focus on thinking about does your business become a little bit relevant, how people perceive you, and does that make it important for people to perceive you a certain way? Reason why I'm saying it because communication skills and image go hand in hand. Your communication skills and your image that you present both professionally, personally, and the business itself create the first impression and unfortunately the last impression. Now, I'm going to ask a question. I need 3 people. Who's going to be my brave people? What's your name? Sierra, can you stand up?
Thank you.
One more. I need 2 more people. What's your name? Taylor. Taylor. And then what's your name? Whoever. Barbara. Barbara. Okay, I need you all to stand up. Taylor. Sierra. Sorry. I need you to tell me what you perceive about it. First thing.
On initial glance, I noticed that you have a bold red look, so I think you have a bold personality. I definitely noticed that you're very stylish. I see that you're wearing a classic suit, but in a really modern way. I noticed you wore a short haircut with the colors. I feel like you have a big personality, just sort of the red lip and the gold hair. The glasses are really, really stylish and really modern. So I do assume that you're possibly on social media. When you said that you were the image consultant, it tracks.
That's it down.
The first thing that I noticed about you was the actual cut of your suit. It it reminded me of someone that works in luxury in the first place, and it specifically reminded me of something that was very Chanel or Yves Saint Laurent esque. Just the style of the suit, and then it was very modern to me. So I imagine that you knew a lot about fashion to begin with before I knew exactly what you were speaking of today. I imagined that it would be something relating to your image and the way you present yourself when going in a specific space.
Listen to everything these people say because in the end, there's something special that I'm gonna do with it. Okay, ready? Plants. When I first saw you, I was like, who is that? And I noticed how classy you were and how you were carrying yourself. And I also think you have a little person with you. I do. Okay, he's sharp. Because that's who I saw first. And I was like, he got on nice. And then when I saw you walk by, I was like, okay, they're together. But I saw class. And I thought about the song, The Classic Man. They need one for the classic woman. First of all, thank you for those eloquently said comments because I do get stopped a lot. My business is image consulting, so I have to look the part everywhere I go. And when we finish with this presentation, this is what I'm trying to convey to you all. Like whatever business that you're doing, you're going to have to look the part on a consistent basis. So thank you for the ladies who stood up and gave you those comments. Here we go. So we're still in the intro. I want to talk about studies. Studies about people reveal that most people make their decisions within the first 30 seconds to 2 minutes. So, like, what was your name again? Barbara said, your first impression of me, I want you to have a very good positive impression. So when people look at you, you want them to be able to say, whatever business you're in, you want to convey that within the first 30 seconds to 2 minutes. Hearsay, we long heard you only have one chance to make a first impression, impeccable skills and qualifications. While you may not make it past the first impression, if you have not given serious attention to your professional image, you need to. You can have the best qualifications, but if your look doesn't look the part, then something's off. You may not get that person back to come to your business or do business with you just off the way you look, your presentation. Cutting yourself short. You may not only be cutting yourself short on an initial sale, but also repeat and referral business. Personal business presentation. Your goal in your personal business and presentation is to avoid negative distractions, to move others past your outside and focus on the inside, so that the attention's on you and your business and what you have to say. Most of the time when people see you, you want them to look past the outside. You want to be able to say something, to have a conversation. So the initial contact with someone is your image, but then you also want them to hear what you say. So it is very important your appearance is always on par. And then you want to always be noticed. When I came in, I'm sometimes over dramatic because I want to be noticed. That's my business. But what are you going to do with your business? Do you want to be noticed? Do you want to stay quiet? Do you want somebody to come up to you? These are things I want you to think about going forward. It should be, when you want to be noticed and recognized to have a positive influence on others. Shaping your future for success. Different opinions. While opinions will differ on the relevance of importance of different image aspects, depending on your business type and products, it is important that you and your business convey always success. So if you have a failed professional image, if you fail to present a sharp, successful professional image, why should your prospect expect to get anything different from your product or your service? So if you don't have a positive image, why should the person who is your prospect or someone coming up to do business with you, why should they think anything else other than what they're getting of what you gave them before? If you don't look like your business. Like it or not, your personal and business presentation can distinguish your abilities, your credibility, and success by most. If you are remiss in the details, you may be losing significant business. So I did that because I want you all to start thinking about words of your image. So this was just an intro to get your brain to start thinking about before I get into the visual, because the visual is really good. This starts to get the presentation together. Now we're going to start getting to the visual. Topics of discussion: 3 ways to shape your image and your future. Visual success, your appearance matters. I want you all to remember that. It means something in the end. Your business wardrobe, first impressions, basic career wardrobe, and the total look, your total look overall. So I want you to take a picture of this and just remember the 3, because it is going to come up in the end. Through success, your appearance matters. Clothes have a direct effect on how you feel, think, act, and how others will feel and think, act towards you. Clothes are the basis of judgment based off your personality, the level of self-esteem, your social and financial status, the level of style and fashion sense, your moral and your social values, your trustworthiness, honesty, alliances, degree, and similarity. How has some people ever been judged on their personality? Raise your hand. What about level of self-esteem? Do you always seem kind of confident in what you do or how you feel about yourself? What about social and financial status? Do you ever feel like you walk in a room sometimes and like some people look like they're a little bit on a certain level and you don't feel like you belong? What about level of style? Do you feel like you have your own personal style? Do you know your fashion sense? Morals and social values. Trustworthiness. Do you look like you're trustworthy? Are you honest? And alliances. Do you align sometimes with people who, sometimes that are on your level? Or like when you do networking, are you going to events that are some people like in the same level as you? You're in Toastmasters, you're here. Do you all feel like, you kind of in the same agreements on certain things? We're all here to do speaking, but do you feel like you're confident that you can do speaking? And then degree of similarity. Clothes are symbols with different meanings. Where they are worn, when they are worn, how they are worn, what condition they're in, and who wears them. Everything you wear, say, and do should be appropriate to situations and circumstances, a climate, people in attendance of physical appearance and job at hand, enhancing to who we are, physical person and character, and goal effective to what we want to achieve from the being. First impressions. So there was a study done where Albert B. I get tongue tied on this all the time. And I was practicing before I got here, and I was saying, you know what? I even sounded out me, rabbit hand. If I'm saying it wrong, anybody want to stand up and say it right? Hey, there we go. And he had a famous study of impressions of others, and 55% of what is seen is gestures and facial expressions. 38% is what is heard, which is your tone and voice. And 7% is what is said with your actual words and use. The reason why I like this is because if you think about facial expressions and gestures, sometimes you can look at a person and kind of tell what they're doing. And then you say 38% is if you hear their tone, if it's too high pitched, it's too low, or too high, you read them a certain way. And then what is said, their actual words. I just said a word wrong. Did you prejudge me about that? But I still look good. So this is why, and it's not purpose. Why I'm saying that is because there are some times you cannot be perfect. So out of this percentage, there are some things you can get away with, but there are others you can't. So you judge me off of how I look, but then I said a word that might not have been perfect. Am I still not that certified image consultant because I said it wrong? No. But once again, these are how you're probably judging me. Do you understand? Okay. Now, first impression, your appearance plus your actions plus your attitude equals the total image. So your appearance, your actions, your attitude, all of those things present who you are. Credibility, the level of believability, the trustworthiness, likability, how much you are liked and approachable, personal attractiveness. Are you making most of your future physical attributes? And then your confidence. Do you appear confident? Your success for your future. So when you have a small business, your overall image. So now we're getting into visual success for your business wardrobe. Suits and structured and non-structured for your business, it does mean something. So structured suits have more power. Suits may be matched in color or two-tone. Um, and we'll get into that in the next slide. Medium to dark color, pantsuits, quality of accessories in conservative amounts, and everything must be in good condition. Also, in small business, being confident and conservative are important. Dress with quality of eye for detail that benefits your aspirations and your ability. Dress standards vary off of your position. So I like to get now to the visual part because that's what I love too. I want to kind of like give you a background. So when we get in visual, you kind of understand when we start talking about visual of how you look and the way you dress. So what I did here was we're going to talk about different industries of how you want to look. I don't know what industries you all are in, but if you're in the law industry, you'll see usually they're conservative. They'll wear one color structured suits. If they're in the financial institutions, they wear 1 to 2 color structured suits. And if they're in the manufacturing industry, they want to be approachable, so they'll wear unmatched and kind of a casual look. And then we'll go into the real estate industry. So real estate industry is usually more professionalism. They have usually matched or unmatched structured suits. Advertising industry usually is creative, so you'll have, not necessarily a matching top, but it does need to look put together. And entertainment industry usually is the trendsetter, almost anything goes, high fashion and fast forward trends. Now, did you kind of understand that? Does anybody have any questions about that? Understanding how the suiting part works, and sometimes why you go to the bank and you see people dressed a certain way, or you'll see a lawyer dressed a certain way. They have standards, they have dress codes that they have to meet. So I brought this picture up here because I want to show you the difference of dress codes. I worked for Bravo. I had to style an individual for Bravo a couple of years ago. And on the set, they gave her a dress code. What I realized in reality TV is they do have certain types of images that they want to convey. If you ever look at Real Housewives of Atlanta and when they do their last little sit down where they're going over the season, they have to dress in certain dress codes. Well, here, when they do their final pictures, I wanted to show you. This picture right here is from Selling Sunset in California. This is from Selling in Tampa, and this one is Selling in Atlanta. When I say you are conveying a certain image or brand, they're all in real estate, but they all look like they're selling something different. Since we went through messages of image before, let me see who's paying attention. What does Selling Sunset look like they're selling? And what do you notice that you don't notice on the other set? Yes. Some have pantsuits on. Some women are not showing too much skin. Then we go to selling Tampa. We have some showing a little bit of skin, and there's a little bit of sex appeal selling. And then we go to Atlanta. They're not selling real estate. I'm just, this is not a bad thing. I'm just showing you how the messages could be conveyed. They're all in the real estate industry, but what is the message that they're trying to convey? And if you were trying to buy a house or property, who would you go for? So this is the same thing in your business. That how would you want to be perceived and how you want to dress. And I'm glad that you all saw first off that they have pantsuits in the first picture. And then as we keep progressing, we see how the image changes. And so that's very important in the business that you're in, because that's the first thing you're going to see. So business wardrobe, a business wardrobe promotes a feeling of polish and professional competency. Things to do: survey your wardrobe and make a plan. Plan an adequate business wardrobe. Get rid of things that are unworn clothing, and plan to update your business wardrobe. So wardrobe messages. So for the basic career wardrobe, your wardrobe should convey that you are approachable and friendly. Messages of professionalism and reliability. Conveys a touch of polish and capability for a career basic wardrobe. So I put some things down here for authority clothes. These are just lists of things that you should wear. Quality. You want to always have a jacket, whether it's a structured jacket or not. A blazer makes a difference in the whole look of your wardrobe. So when you go to a meeting, it can be a casual meeting, but once you put on a jacket, it makes it a little bit more professional. It should be of higher quality. Just because something is expensive doesn't mean it's higher quality all the time. I work in luxury, so there are some things that could be bad. There was a saying that was said about Louis Vuitton. Just because it's Louis Vuitton doesn't mean it's quality. I think it was on one of those shows. I'm like, oh, they said that, but it is true. I used to work for them, so it is true. But you do want to have something that looks of quality. Wear sophisticated colors. And if they're bright, and if you're in the industry that you have to wear bright colors, make sure it works with you. Don't let the colors wear you. Wear small, sophisticated prints sometimes, because geometric prints can convey a different message than something a little bit more subtle. Carry a nice, fine leather handbag for women, and not too trendy at times, just be classic. Sometimes it's good to just have a great tote, a black tote that you can use, when you're out at an event or with your business. Always add finishing touches to your outfit: a belt, a small pair of earrings, a gold chain. Wear quality jewelry if you can afford it. Always keep the same high standard for your look. Be consistent. That is one thing. So if somebody sees you out one way, see if you can be consistent, throughout, because you never know who you may meet. And look and act always in a professional way. Basic career wardrobe. Now, I all gave you a sheet. We're going to talk about this, but women, if you're going to do a career wardrobe, and this is any career because you can always mix and match because you never know when you need some of these things. 2 to 3 piece jacket, which has jacket, skirt, penis, and suit. The reason why I said that because who doesn't need a foundation of all black? Black skirt, black jacket, black dress, black pants. You can wear it with everything. 1 solid color blazer, sweater, cardigan, 2 basic skirts, pair of classic pants, 2 solid colored blouses, 1 in a pussy bow, 1 pinstripe blouse, 2 shirts, 1 shirt dress, 1 classic dress, a trench coat. Who has a trench coat? If you need one, I can help you. Trench coat, I wish people would wear trench coats because they are so classic. They are so elevated. Even if it's short, long, you need a trench coat in your closet. Even if it's just a khaki one, trench coats always need one because some people don't even have a coat. Trench coat is all you can travel with a trench coat, especially one that has a layering that you can take out. Shoes and accessories, scarves, jewelry, belts, etc. Men, men, same thing. 2 to 3 piece jacket, pants, suit. A light and dark color one. Solid blazer, cardigan, classic pant, 2 button down, pinstripe shirt, 2 shirts, t-shirts, which is polos as well. Trench, shoes, accessories, scarves, socks, belts. Okay, so this is from back in the day. This probably was from an Ann Taylor, but I cannot go wrong with this look. So reason why I always keep this because for some reason it is always what they always remake as a basic career wardrobe. So in the first little picture, you'll see kind of a cardigan with a black dress. Little black dress can be worn with anything. Then you have a classic suit that you can wear with a white shirt or a patterned shirt. Then you have a suit with a belt that cinches the waist in that gives you a classic look. And then you have a tan suit. So that is a basic career wardrobe that every woman needs to have in her closet. And then, of course, you have your accessories. They can be gold or silver, studs, diamond studs, a scarf. And then you can have sling back hit heels, a classic black shoe. These are things that every woman needs to have in her career wardrobe. Does every woman have these? Okay. 4 basic wardrobe. Most men don't have 4 suits, but I always say you need to have a classic black suit, navy suit. Now, if you're gonna get extra, you'll add a tan suit and a gray suit. These are 4 suits every man should have in their wardrobe. And then as far as the Oxford shoes, that's an extra, which is shoes that you lace up. And then you have loafers. So these are like classic pieces every man should have in their wardrobe. The watches, the cufflinks, the socks, white sneakers, and black sneakers because it's casual. When you go into certain events, you may not need a dressy shoe, but a sneaker, you can always dress up if it's a classic sneaker. The career wardrobe, this is basically where you go in your closet and say, do you have these pieces? Which means the fabric could be cotton, silk, satin, the cost, how much it's going to cost. Do you already own or do you need to buy? And this is self-explanatory because if you have all these pieces, that's good. But if you need to add, then you can go in every year. You should do a closet edit. I do a closet edit with most of my clients. And we go in and we may even want to change the suiting. We might want to change the blazer. We might want to change the pants. You just sometimes need to know if your child's style changes. Then this is a basic career planner that you can use to do that. Basic career wardrobe for men. Same thing. You have a planner. You have, and I put on here for men that they need a sport coat. They need a leather jacket. These are things that if you already don't own, you need to get, and then you may need to update because things style has changed. So you need to do this possibly every year from at least have different ones for different seasons because the fabric may change and then of course you may grow out of it. So, or you may need a tailor. One is basic career wardrobe essentials. Black classic blazer, trousers, and a skirt. These are essentials for women career wardrobe. Also for essential for women's wardrobe, we talked about the trench coat, Burberry. That is one of my clients, is Burberry. So if you ever need something from Burberry, you can come see me. They're one of the brands that are known for classic trench coat, a cardigan, and the pussy bow tie, which is very classic for a women's wardrobe in satin. Oops. And then, of course, the classic shoe. Every brand should have a classic shoe. If you cannot have a designer belt, always look at a belt that if it has a gold or silver type of metal, it does make a difference on your outfit. So, classic belts that are worn over blazers with the skirts, with the dresses, it does make a little bit of an accent look. And of course, a classic scarf that you can wear with your wardrobe as well. Visual success, the total look. Now we're going to get into the total look. Is where your professional style is your inner attitude about yourself, is a professional look from head to toe. It can also be total projection of your professionalism. So we're going to talk about skin 101, makeup 101, hair 101, grooming 101, and accessories 101. Creates positive and attractive image. Healthy skin is critical for good makeup application. Care for your skin on a daily basis. It helps aging process. Has a great skincare regimen. I've seen a lot of men start doing skincare now too. Do you know? You know what? I'm a break for a second. I'm going to tell you something. Guess how old I am? Say. I'm okay. I'm giving gifts out today. Who wants to guess? No, I'm 50. Oh, I'm 7. I started doing skincare when I was 16. So, and when I tell you the brands that I work with, I've learned how to age backwards. It makes a huge difference. And makeup for women or men is for to accent your good features, your eyes, your lips, or whatever. When I tell you skincare right now is somewhere where you need to be everyday practicing, it's gonna make a difference. So when everybody's doing wellness too, so it does make a difference. Using makeup to accent your good features and minimize your unwanted features. So for women, we're going to get into a classic look, a natural look, and dramatic look. When I do makeup with some of the brands I work with, one thing a lot of women, they don't like to wear makeup. If you're in business, I feel like you have to wear makeup. It doesn't have to be a lot, but it needs to be something. So this is what a casual look looks like. This is classic, and this is dramatic. The only changes are the eyes and the lips. The blush could be a little bit of the same, but it makes a huge difference in a professional world. Natural and classic look is most desirable for professional women. Too much makeup looks you too harsh and gaudy. No makeup at all makes you look tired and lazy. I don't care attitude. So when you walk out the house and you're in a business and you're walking out with no makeup, what does that say? What is that conveying to people? You're not top, you don't care. And I'm telling you, you have to be on 24/7 because even when I go to the grocery store, I might be like this, with sunglasses on so people don't see me, but I always have something that I know if somebody was to walk up to me, they know I'm in the business of doing what I do. So because I'm teaching it to other people. Keep your hair simple, clean, and well cut. Hairstyle should flatter your face structure. Professional style structure, avoid childish hairstyles and colors. Easy to keep hairstyles that does not require much time. Okay, yeah, I'm one of those. I take 2 hours to get dressed. So, but I love that. So what I did was I found pictures of hairstyles. I think just about every woman has either tried or they can easily do. And so these are like simple hairstyles for some. And I think they're classic to the point where everybody would be able to use these in some parts of their life. Correct? So are these decent enough?
Yes.
Professional enough? Would you wear these? Okay. For men, I got some handsome men up here. And I got some with beards as well. So I thought about when you thought about professional men wearing hairstyles, thought about men in Hollywood, how we always look at like, oh, he always looks nice, he always looks good. So men with beards, how clean shaven they are, haircuts. Even now that men are able to wear dreads in the office, it still needs to look professional and clean. So these are some kind of professional looks that I just pulled that I thought that if a man was going to do a look and he wanted the idea of what would keep him professional, I thought these would be very good um, ideas to for a man to look at. Are you agreeing with me? Yes. Okay. Especially method man.
Listen, man.
Okay, so here's a checklist I put together. These are grooming tips, and I know we're all adults, but I've been in industries where always these are sometimes things that people always need to have on hand or know about their grooming. Breath, hands down. If you always have a breath mint with you after you eat, just have something in your bag always. Brush teeth, makeup sparingly, natural look, body, deodorant, perfume. But when you do perfume, you can use it sparingly. I know we said about having your own scent, but sometimes when it's overly done, it does send a different message. Fingernails, neat, clean, and trim, and hair, clean, trim, neatly arranged. Same thing with men. Now we're here to wardrobe, women's wardrobe, the look. So professional clothing tailored suits classic style with contemporary flair versus business casual. The difference is, of course, professional is a little bit more tailored. It can have some of the finest fabrics used. It's an excellent construction fit. Sometimes if you buy things that don't fit, you can always get them tailored. A lot of people buy things off the rack and think they're supposed to fit. Professional, you can get them tailored or find someone who can just, nip your jacket in, your skirt in, your pants in to make it look a little bit more professional. Business casual is a little bit loose. So you'll see she'll have on a jacket with a skirt that necessarily doesn't have to always fit structure. The shirt and pants, the top, etc. Everything is unstructured. So that is a difference between professional and business casual. So when people are like, what do I wear that's professional? It's always a look put together on both. But the casual is usually not as tailored, is basically the look. Men's wardrobe, the look. So when men are coming to me about suits that have a classic style and look, I think men should always invest in a great fitted suit. So get it tailored. And then business casual basically is consistent of two wardrobe pieces that are not as tailored. They're a little bit unstructured. You have your vest, your sweater, even maybe a tie. But then on the professional side with the man, you can see it's excellent, pristine, suiting, everything just looks like it's just tailored for the professional look. Well, I think you can wear denim to, professional events and be in a career wardrobe. So, but the only thing about it, excuse my picture, I would just not have it where it is the bottom, having it kind of cut off. It would just be a pristine classic jean, and it's a straight cut. Jackets are not worn at this level, but you can do like a trench to make it a little bit more casual. So this is a casual look where I think a lot of people would have like a trench coat in their wardrobe with a t-shirt. This is definitely casual, and you see the white shoes. They don't have a lot of coloring on it. They're very simple. So that I think everybody can have something like this in their wardrobe for like a career wardrobe look or just a wardrobe look itself. And then for men, it's either the white shoes or you have loafer, still a classic jean. You could do a polo, and you could do maybe a t-shirt or sweater, but this is a definitely a dress down professional casual look. And accessories can make or break an outfit. Using accessories to set the tone of your look by pulling it together and setting it off with just a touch of flair. So if you have shoes, hosiery, handbags, belts, scarves, jewelry, glasses for women's one-on-one, this is where a lot of women, I think, kind of get lost. Is sometimes you don't know your personal style when you're doing accessories, but it does make a difference in the end. So I would encourage kind of like try different accessories to see if it works. If you don't know, you can always hire me to help you with your personal style. But this is where the planner tells you, do you have gold? Do you have silver? Is the gold matte? Is it like shiny? It's a difference on how you look with your wardrobe. And then I'm gonna give you an example. I have shiny earrings on. Okay, shiny silver earrings. My belt is shiny. My brooch is shiny. But if it was matte, it wouldn't look necessarily bad, but I tend to always have my metals to match. So it does sometimes make a difference. And then same thing with men. Do you have a duffel bag? Do you have a briefcase? And then your sunglasses. All these things matter in the professional world with your accessories. So you would want to know, do you have tortoiseshell? Do you have black? Do you have silver? Some of these things that a lot of people don't invest in, it would be great to have to invest in for your wardrobe. So I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads. And my website is www.the-lsy.com for you to get in touch with me. Now we're going to go back. Remember I said 3 people? So Sierra, Taylor, I need you all to stand again.
Yay!
Okay, with that, who wants to critique Sierra?
Hi, Sierra.
And Sierra, what do you do?
I'm a physician assistant. I'm working in internal medicine right now.
Nice.
All right, who wants to critique Sierra?
She's a PA.
We just went over, this is not critiquing in a bad way, it's how she's being perceived. Okay, okay. Who wants to do it?
The lovely lady here. Oh, okay.
Sierra, Lisa. When I saw Sierra earlier, I saw a natural flow in her hair. She has a casual vibe. She looks like she can go from a professional day with her cardigan to cocktails at 5 with her silk blouse and bow. I like the casual slap with the pockets. And she walks with a stride confidence, and she's beautiful with the natural makeup and the gloss.
Now you see how when people are nervous when I do this, but you sometimes want to hear what people say because you never know what they're perceiving of you, correct? I wasn't scared. I was confident. I want people to always be confident when somebody wants to say something back to them about how they look, how they dress, because you want good or bad feedback, because you want to know, hey, is something in my hair? Is something on my shirt? Something, you know? That. Ooh. Bring it. Oh, wait a minute. Were you part of the? Yeah. I'm sorry. Taylor. Let's do Taylor.
Hi, Taylor.
You do Taylor back. We want you to be scared. Remember, this helps everybody.
Uh-huh.
Well, before I do Taylor, I have to say I love your hair. Okay. Taylor, I love your outfit. I love your hair. It's definitely different and it pops. It definitely stands out. It's a lot of attention and it looks like you have fun with your hair. Your outfit today is definitely business casual. Throw a jacket on, and then you can make it into an evening wear. I love the flats. I love the look now, but I bet you have some stilettos somewhere to change it later. I love the earrings because you're keeping it simple. The makeup is very natural, and you just look like, you know what, I'm put together. I'm gonna be about my business, and you're very stylish. So that's what I see.
One thing I noticed is you see how you started looking at detail, you started looking at everything. See how some people you never know what people are looking at. And so when you're mindful when you go out the house, now in your mind, like, okay, let me look at my shoes, let me look at this, let me look at this. It's not a bad thing, but see how when I go out, I know I know they're gonna see my nails, they're gonna see my shoes. I know people look at certain things. It's not a bad thing. It's just the fact that people want to be, if you want to be perceived a certain way, then there's certain things that you're gonna do change, right? Okay. All right, last one. Who wants to do? I'm like Vanna White right now.
What was your name one more time? Barbara. Barbara.
Barbara.
So the first thing that I noticed about your outfit was how well your jacket and your shoes matched in color. I found that to be very nice because I don't often see people matching, especially when it's different than other pieces in the outfit. So I don't see people matching those two specific items very much. I also like the shape of your glasses. I know that may not be a fashion choice necessarily, but I do like the shape of your glasses, and I like the daintiness of your earrings and the way that it matches your, I don't want to call them buttons, but the jewels on your blouse as well. So to me, you look very, very professional, but very approachable at the same time. Like it's nothing that's too sharp where you're like, oh, I don't want to talk to her. You're very, very put together yet very approachable.
And I like the fact that you mentioned her detailing of her buttons matching her. Do you see how now you're starting to think about certain things now? And then you also gave her ideas of what messages she was conveying to you. So we were listening. Okay, so in discussion and review, I have 3 goodie bags to give out. So the first question is, what is image virtual success? Does anybody remember? Remember, I said you take pictures and stuff. So first person who gives me the answer, you get a goodie bag. What is your appearance matters? Thanks.
Oh, Shanna Ray. Boy.
Yes.
Yes.
Identify items that was in your basic career wardrobe. And t-shirt.
I'll take it.
And the last one, please finish this sentence. I'm like Vanna White. The total look for that. Okay. That concludes my presentation. If anyone has any questions, I do personal consultation. I'll show you how to style yourself. I do closet edits, do makeup, do a lot. So if you have any questions after, I'm gonna step over to the side and we can talk about that. Okay? Thank you all.